actually on time. See,
look at us.
Nobody's on because we're always like 10 minutes late.
I know, right? They're like 10:30 means 10:40.
We're actually here.
We are here.
We're still technically late, right? We're right on time.
No, we're right on time.
We're early. We're a minute early. Holy cannoli. What is going on? Who are we even?
Who are we even?
What's going on, everybody? Let me push this down a little bit. This is a little bit.
We got people jumping on IG. What up, Allison? Little dose of 5? Is that what that is? Holy cannoli. I love cannolis.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we're the keto couple of the year. You know what? I've never
we should
tried
get an
making
award.
a
We should get
carnivore
an award.
cannoli. That would probably be, it would be easy because you do it with cheese. That the filling is cheese.
What sweetener would you use? Like monk fruit or allulose or
one of those.
Something like that.
You know, I usually don't do,
Yeah. That's the problem. We don't really like any of the artificial sweeteners.
We don't do
We don't do a
sweeteners.
lot of stuffs like that.
So actually, funny story.
Funny story.
I don't know if it's funny, but interesting anyway. Today, I saw that I still had an old bag of coffee when I used to do the bougie flavored coffees.
Okay. Used to?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't do them like I used to.
No, you don't. We have them all still.
We have a bunch of
all
them
over the
because
place.
I have not used them.
We have almost as many bags of coffee as you have pairs of shoes.
No. I definitely have more shoes than coffee. That would be next level though.
It's close.
So, okay, so I've been doing the more French roast or organic single origin coffees. And I started blending them with my flavored ones to get a little hint of the flavor, to finish up the flavor ones, get rid of them. So I've been using one that's more mild. It's like a fall spice one. So it's a little more like, it's got like cinnamon and cardamom and stuff like that in it, right? So it's not like in your face. But I found an older one that was like a blueberry cinnamon, and I put 1 scoop of that.
Weird combo.
It was the one that was the mystery flavor.
Oh, right.
And I was like, they just mixed 2 of their flavors together and called it a mystery flavor. So they mixed like the cinnamon and the blueberry. So I put 1 scoop of that in today.
Right. Well,
Like I still have coffee and I've been diluting it with, I blended it with some Equip. I blended it with ice. I put more ice in here because the flavor is just like,
so much.
It ruined the coffee flavor of the coffee.
okay, so we've been experimenting.
So it's progress is what I meant to say. It's like, this is progress for me that
Get used to it.
I taste this and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring that to the other thing that we noticed as well this week. We've been, over the past couple months, experimenting with different brands of electrolytes.
Yes.
And we've probably tried, 4 or 5
At
different
least,
brands?
yeah, 4 or 5.
And I found one that I really like that's not, it's a pretty good formulation. But we recently, just a couple days ago, got an order of Element in, which we haven't had Element in weeks. And both of us had our first packet of Element, and it felt like getting punched in the
It was
freaking face.
so strong, like the flavors.
Like your body adapts, your taste buds adapt.
They must use more flavoring than the other
I
brands.
still like. She got the other one, the other brand, which I can't remember the name of the brand that I like.
The one that you like
taste-wise better
is
than
from
Element.
Trace Minerals. The brand is Trace Minerals, and it's called Zero Light.
Zero Light. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. They got good flavors. It's not quite as, like I said, punch in the face as Element. But yeah, it was drastically different, like almost not enjoyable, which is funny because I used to
That was all we
all the time.
both used for years.
I don't like it.
So I have to say, we're shifting in a little different direction. I have found one I really like, but it's lower sodium.
Hey, Sonia. Yeah.
It's more of almost a 1-to-1 sodium to potassium, which I always avoided for a long time. So I mix that with one Element or another one that has as much as Element to try to balance that out a little bit more. I do think that my body does better on a little bit more potassium than it used to, because the Element, it's like a quarter It's like a quarter potassium to sodium.
Does the Element have more magnesium than the Zerolyte? I'll have to go check. I don't remember if it did or not.
I don't remember if Zerolyte has magnesium. It might be the same. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
So, yeah, Allison likes the Zerolyte watermelon. She said the citrus is horrible. You're using
I
the
like
water-
the citrus one. That's the one that tastes like orangesicle.
No, that's the orange.
Oh, that's orange. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it
The
was
citrus is like the lemon lime.
Oh, that is a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say, yeah, the Zerolyte, you can taste the minerals. Like it's got that mineral flavor. And then the ones I like a lot right now, the higher potassium one is 310 brand.
Is that the cucumber one?
Yeah, that's the cucumber because it's the only one I've ever found with a cucumber flavor, and it's amazing. But then the other one I'm really liking that you liked too. I think you liked it. The Santa Cruz Paleo.
Is that the
little
containers?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are good. And they have really different
Except
flavors.
the lychee.
Yeah, the lychee flavor.
Why would you want a lychee flavored electrolyte?
It's a brand new flavor, and it's unique. It's very unique. You gotta like that sour. It's like a very sour flavor, but I like it. But the mango and the peach were
good.
really good.
Very good. I like
So
those.
that's now becoming maybe my new favorite.
The only thing I didn't like about those was the container. I guess it's because it's humid. Even with the humidity packs inside, I got 2 humidity
They
packs inside.
started getting
They were
compacted.
very packed in, and
Yeah.
I just dig it out. So yeah.
And it didn't take very long for that to
No,
happen.
not at all.
So, yeah. So we're experimenting more, but what brand was that? So
That was the container with the lychee.
that's the Santa Cruz Paleo.
Santa Cruz Paleo.
Yeah. And they have a kiwi I want to try. It was sold out when I got the last one. And then also I've been trying, you haven't, no, you didn't like it.
The bag ones.
That's Mark.
Those were weird.
That's Mark Bell's brand.
Weird.
That's the Within You brand. It has BCAAs, which may have been why you didn't like it, because it also has the
just
BCAAs in it.
I don't know if this makes any sense. It tasted weird. It felt weird in my mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It was just.
And I didn't like the fruit punch. The blueberry lemonade was a pretty decent flavor, but yeah, he really didn't like those. But what I will say I like, the Within You brand, you haven't tried these yet. They have a chocolate and a salted caramel. And it's one thing we've wanted with Element, but Element does not make salted caramel without the chocolate.
You got to buy the pack together.
And Salty also has a chocolate salted caramel and a chocolate, but they don't have a separate salted caramel. So for those of you who might want the salted caramel by itself without the chocolate, the Within You brand from Mark Bell has a separate salted caramel and a separate chocolate, and those are more like Salty than Element.
Jen said, I tried a couple different brands of electrolytes and my belly paid the price. I want to second that to a degree. There have been some changes I've made in my diet over the past 2 weeks, week and a half, where I've been getting more lean protein. I'm going back on a more of a cut. And I think this plays a role, but at the same time, reintroducing Element, there is a correlation where the last 2 days, my bathroom experience has changed. So going back to the Zerolyte, now that we have the Zerolyte again, I'm going to go back to that and see if there's a difference.
Okay.
Because I know before I felt like I was having some kind of gut reaction to Element, and then I stopped and it went away. So if this happens again, then maybe there is something in the Element side of things that doesn't.
Well, and this is something that's important to note. I've had ladies in my group who've had some issues with either constipation or diarrhea. And you need to look at a lot of different things, of course, like your hydration in general, how much water you're drinking, how much electrolytes to how much water. Really, it can be really powerful to track these things for a little while. But also, what's the balance of electrolytes? So electrolytes with more potassium versus less, magnesium or no magnesium, how much sodium to potassium to magnesium you're getting all at once.
Right.
All of these things, and then what else is potentially in the electrolyte, right? What flavorings, what sweeteners they're using. I know Coach Jen, she has problems with the natural flavors.
Right.
in certain
And
elements.
some people had issues with stevia. Like
Yes.
everyone's very different with.
So you need to look at all those things and then find what works best for you. So, all right.
So that was enough of
a divergence from the topic.
non-topic discussion.
Chit chat before we get
What
to
are we
the
talking
topic.
about today?
Oh boy, we are talking about a hot topic.
Hot topic. Why is it a hot topic?
Oh boy, how long do you have? It's the latest magic.
The latest craze.
The latest magic
weight
pill.
loss craze. The latest magic pill. Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So, okay. Quick question about electrolytes. Do electrolytes have any impact on kidney function? My husband and I are using Element, and his recent blood work has us a little concerned, and his doctor suggests getting rid of all supplements for now.
That's not
interesting.
enough information to really go off of. Also, what other things may be going on?
Yeah.
Has your protein increased? There's
You gotta look at everything
a
else.
whole bunch of other stuff going on there. What were the actual readings? That's not something we can get into over a live, but anything's possible. I mean, most things go through the liver at some point. So the impact of what you're having, there could be something in that specific brand. It may be brand specific. It may be formulation specific.
Depends on
There's
what he was
a lot
doing
of questions
before
that
that.
would still
Right.
need to be asked in order for us to answer that question. Yeah.
Okay. So, Coach Bronson, what brand are you
I like
using
the
now?
zero.
He's doing the Zero
What
Light
is the
from
brand?
Trace Minerals.
Trace Minerals Zero Light is what
Which,
I'm doing now.
ladies-
I like that a lot.
Ladies who are in my group, you can get it at a discount through my dispensary.
Ooh, join her group.
So it's a reason to go that route.
Okay.
All right.
Latest magic pill, Ozempic.
Ozempic,
or we could
semaglutide,
say
Wegovy, all the
Yeah,
things. All of the GLP-1
agonists.
agonist drugs.
Basically, we're going to talk about these and the impact that they have without talking about them and the impact that they have. What we
As we generally do.
Yeah, what we really want to address is where do they fit and how do you determine if it's something that you should look into or not?
Yes. How do you weigh the pros and cons?
The idea, and just set the baseline, this is the only time I really think we need to talk about them specifically, with GLP-1 agonists specifically. The basic idea is when you take it, it takes away your hunger.
It
makes
acts
you
on your
eat
hunger and
less.
satiety signals.
So if I take this, I'm going to eat less. If I eat less, I'm going to lose weight. Bingo, bango, that's it in a nutshell. There isn't much more to get into beyond that. You can, again, we can get into all the mechanisms, but how it works and all these other things. Who gives a crap? The end result is you are eating less.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the big picture of things, are there other ways that you can eat less? You could just stop eating.
Absolutely.
What if you just stopped eating? And I was taking notes last night while we were watching TV, and this is something that popped in my head. The idea that why this is a secret pill or a magic pill. Why this is so big is because, number one, if you are stuck on calories and it's all about calories, it's all about energy, food is only fuel, you're going to fall for this. If I eat less, I will lose weight, I will be healthier. It's hard to eat less because I have cravings and I don't have the willpower to sustain it, so I need help.
I need something else that will take the cravings away.
I need something that's going to replace my willpower. That's what this is doing.
Yep.
It's replacing your willpower. So,
if I had $1 for every client or potential client who said, how do I get rid of cravings? You know, when are the cravings going to go away? What do I do to get rid of this? It's like, it's never going to 100% go away forever. There's no magic that will just all of a sudden make this easy for you.
When do I have to stop paying taxes?
When is it just going to be easy?
Yeah.
That's the question is, how do I make it easier? And that's why it's so attractive to people. Let's start with empathy, right? I understand the reason why you want this.
Yep.
And any other magic pill that's being sold to you.
Yeah.
because you want the process to be easier for you.
That's why intermittent fasting and OMAD
And
keto and carnivore and all of these things, because at the
They're
top of the
attractive.
list, everybody thinks if I do this thing, all of my problems are going to go away.
Yep.
And it's kind of, I'm making a connection here. It's kind of what we talk about with emotional eating.
100% it is.
I'm eating because I feel a certain way about something. And instead of facing that thing, I'm going to eat this to make me feel better about it and avoid that thing.
Yes.
We're looking for the thing that's going to do it instead of facing the real reason we're dealing with that thing in the first place.
Much like weight loss surgeries.
Yes, very much like weight loss surgery.
I can't control myself.
Yep.
So I need something else that forces me to change my habits.
Right. Yeah. And I don't want this to come off as us saying that these things, keto, carnivore, OMAD, intermittent fasting, all these other things, aren't tools that can be effectively used.
Yes.
Because they are and they can be, and people do use them effectively. If you go into it understanding what the real purpose is, what your actual vision about your life, where are you trying to go? What does it mean when you stop doing it? Are you prepared to pick up where you stop? Like, because it's kind of I'm doing something, I need this to get me started, but at some point that you can't use that crutch all the time.
Forever, yeah.
You have to learn how to walk on your own, right? So if you're using Ozempic or GLP-1 agonists or intermittent fasting or carnivore, whatever, as your training wheels, as a way to get you started, as a way to go into it knowing I'm using this to help myself enter a new
way of living,
building new habits and giving me some space where I can make improvements in my body while I'm dealing with the things in my head. And you're looking at the big picture of things, of how do I improve my thought processes, and not just I'm going to do this and then everything's going to be better. That's very short-sighted. It doesn't last. You're going to fall off and then have to start all over again because it didn't work and you just reverted back.
And I like to talk about it as you're giving your power to something outside of you. I can't do this, so this has to do it for me. This is my only hope.
Right.
I put everything into this, and I don't then also do the work that I need to do to change the way I think, to change the way I behave, to change the way I live, and I'm looking at it as the magic solution.
Right. All I have to do is this. I don't know how many times I see this in carnivore or the keto, in keto groups and carnivore groups all the time, is I thought carnivore would. I thought going carnivore would do this. I thought going keto would do this. I've been intermittent fasting and I thought this. And
it's not going to do it all for you.
It's going to move you in a direction, but there's still work you have to do. Choosing a challenge, doing 75 hard is the big one that I see a lot of people do. I'm going to do 75 hard and then I'll be set. I'll have, okay, great. But you're so focused on just doing that. You're not thinking about what am I doing here that I'm going to continue doing.
Any challenge should only be to get you, just like GLP-1 agonists can do, get you over the hump into the new thing. Right? Get through the hardest part, which is the starting and being consistent, right? And then once you've started to build these habits, then you have to think about what's next after that.
Right.
And it's just like if you go keto for 30 days or 90 days or 60 days or carnivore for 6 months, if you go back to doing what you were doing before, you're going to go backwards.
And here's the thing, that with some things, I'll make sure I say this in the right order, the right way. The idea that whatever you do to get you to the next level is what you have to do to stay there. Okay? When we're talking about sustainable methods, what you have to do to stay there, by definition, is going to keep being good for you. GLP-1 agonists are not good for you for the rest of your life.
Because just eating less
is not good. And then even just the impact of what it has, right? You've heard about Ozempic face. You've heard about the wasting
side
of lean
effects.
muscle. There's so many other things that are going on. Overdosing is common. Staying on it too long is common. More is not better. All those other types of things, because people are going into it with the wrong mindset of, this is something I'm going to use as a tool in a bigger picture. If you don't have a bigger picture of how you want to do any specific protocol, it's not just Ozempic. It's not just GLP-1 agonist.
Oh, whatever supplement you think is going to do it for you. Or
Berberine is another one that I say.
Gosh, yeah.
Berberine, oh my God, it's just as good as
metformin.
Metformin, but it's not a drug. It's a supplement. It's a whatever. Okay, you're using it. If that is the solution, if your thought process is, if I do this, I don't have to do anything else.
Oh, how about ketones when you're not eating keto?
When you're not eating keto,
I'll just take ketones so I can get into ketosis so that I get the benefits of keto while I still eat my carbs. And this is what you're being sold. Right? I don't blame you, because you're being sold on this dream.
Yeah.
That is, it's unrealistic, and it's not going to help.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not going to help you in the long term. So the muscle wasting piece is the same thing we see with people who've been keto carnivore for a long time, under eating and over fasting. Same concept, because you're just thinking about total food intake. You're not thinking about macronutrient breakdown, protecting your lean tissue. It's all about weight loss. So, yeah.
Well, and that's a huge thing, because I don't know if people, I mean, I've heard other influencers and people talking about the lean mass loss, but it's higher than normal. So there's something going on in the medication itself that's adding to that. I don't have all the details. I haven't dug into all that as much, but you know, when you're talking about over, I think I was looking at some information last night. There was like a 10% weight loss over a year period, and 38% of that was lean mass. So when 38 to 40% of the weight that you lose is muscle mass, that's not good. That's way higher than the average. Even someone that's under eating in general, or fasting, or doing whatever too much, that's a lot of lost muscle. And that, I mean, they're actually classifying it. If you do look up, you know, muscle loss with GLP-1 agonists, the things that I've been reading don't just say lean mass loss. They don't just say muscle loss. They say sarcopenia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's talking about GLP-1 agonists causing an unhealthy level of lean mass. Guys, sarcopenia isn't just loss of muscle. It is not having enough muscle to support metabolic function. So when they're talking about it in that context, using that word specifically, it kind of makes me go, woo, hold on a second.
And it's something we have to fight as we age in the first place.
Oh my God. We were just
so
talking
when
about
we
this for
add
me.
something on top of it,
Right.
and then we're trying to battle against it in older age.
If you're going through menopause,
Oh,
on top
gosh,
of it,
yep.
there's so many things.
Jenny said it. For a woman, losing muscle mass is dangerous. It's dangerous for everyone, but she says women must protect muscle mass to prevent broken hips. And that's true for anyone aging, but women in menopause, post-menopause, is at an increased risk because of the low estrogen.
Yep.
So the estrogen protects the bone. So now we're talking about bone density loss. We're talking about lean mass loss. It all compounds. So the last thing we need is to be losing any lean mass.
Yeah.
I want to touch on something here that Pilar said. It's all about
I was
hard
literally
work.
just going to do that. You're in my head. Get out of my head.
Perhaps the worst thing that these magic pills do is that they take out the work involved in making positive changes in your life.
Yep.
That then, if you were to do the work, it actually compounds, like compounding interest, like a retirement account.
Yep.
Right? The hard work is not just about the results you get from the hard work. There is so much more you gain from doing difficult things and overcoming difficult things, and then getting to the next level to where that difficult thing became easy, and now you're pushing and challenging yourself to the next difficult thing. Mm-hmm. It's growth, it's development as a human being, your character, your mental state, your body, your physiology, your emotions, everything improves when you're seeking to do and to accomplish difficult things. And you take that out of the equation when you're putting something that's this quick fix, external thing that makes things easy. We should not be running away from hard work.
No. The other part of that, I want to caveat it. It's not just hard work.
Go for it.
It's consistently applied, focused work.
Ooh.
If you don't know why you're doing it, if you don't have a picture of how does this specific thing fit into where I'm trying to go, then you're going to be spinning in circles for a long time. It's going to be the same thing. I'm going to try this. It doesn't work. I gain 20 pounds back. I'm going to try this. I lose 25 pounds. I gain 35 pounds back. I try this, and you're going to be up and down. You're going to be back and forth. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to think my body's failing me. No, your body's not failing you. Your mind is. The way you're thinking about the process is what's failing you.
Yes.
Because you're trying to do everything but what it actually takes.
Nothing makes things easier than doing hard things. What's your t-shirt, that other t-shirt you have say about hard work? And
hard training makes life easy. Yeah. Nothing we do at the gym, nothing that what did I say? There was something I was reading one time. It was like the avoidance of challenge. You can't move forward in life. The idea being you can't move forward in life avoiding things that are hard. You can't. Because guess what? Progress requires overcoming hard things and challenges.
Yeah. I mean,
we talked about it before, right? The chicken, the chick hatching from the egg, the bird hatching from the egg.
oh yeah.
Right? If you help a bird hatch from the egg, it's gonna not
Die.
It's not gonna live. It's not gonna make it. You have to let the egg, the chick, force its way out of the egg, break the
shell.
egg, climb out, get out of it. That first challenge of I want to live, I have to get out of here and move to the next phase of my life. And a lot of us are just waiting in our shell, waiting for someone to take the shell away from us.
Yep. And the same thing with the butterfly, right? In the cocoon. If you cut the cocoon before the butterfly has forced its way out, it won't grow the wings.
Yep.
So it's yeah. Damn, I was gonna say something now. I totally forgot what it was. Womp, womp. But Jenny had another great comment here about the price, because I was gonna say, here's the other thing with these drugs. They're expensive, and then she says, how about spending the money on coaching to make positive and sustainable changes instead of magic medicine?
Great call, Jen. I like
so instead of giving your power away by paying for this magic pill,
think about this. Hold on.
Pay for the help that you need to accomplish the changes, the mental, the physical, the desire to do hard things, even that, right? Like, the number of people who've said, I want to train, I want to start lifting. Somebody just said this in my Facebook group the other day. I want to start lifting.
$630 a month?
Babe, hang on. Pause
Sorry.
for a second. Focus.
Holy crap.
Somebody in my group said the other day, I want to start lifting, but I haven't learned to like it yet. Guess how you're never going to learn to like it? By not doing it.
Yep.
Right? So this whole concept of I have to like it before I do it. I have to want to do it before I can take action. You actually have to take action before you can ever like what you're doing. If you don't like eating healthy food and you're waiting to have the desire to eat healthy before you actually start eating healthy, it's never going to happen.
There's a whole nother aspect of that too. It's not the thing you need to like. I don't work out because I like working out. I work out because I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be strong. I want to have muscles. I want to have her get turned on when she sees me in my underwear.
And you really enjoy overcoming challenges.
There's a whole bunch of other reasons that I work out that have nothing to do with whether I like it or not. There are plenty of days where I don't want to work out, but I go do it instead. I don't like going to work every day, but I like my paycheck.
That part, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're waiting to like the thing, stop thinking about the
The
thing
thing.
and start thinking about why you want to do the thing in the first place. That's
It
why
goes
the
back
why
to
is
the
so
why.
important.
It always
Always
goes
goes
back
back
to
to
the
the
why.
why. Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Why are you doing it?
That's another reason why people want to do keto. They think because they're being told, right? Just eat all the bacon you want, just live on bacon. They're like, oh, that sounds fun and enjoyable. I can
Right.
do that. Well, eventually that's going to stop working for you
Mm-hmm.
because eating the least healthy things in the keto space will eventually not yield the results you're looking for.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea of I want this magical thing where I don't have to make any changes. It doesn't have to be difficult. It can be easy and fun and enjoyable and tasty forever.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that didn't get, ask yourself, where did that get you?
Think about it from we talk about comfort zones all the time. This circle of where you live and things that you're good, that you're okay with. And many of you are sitting in your comfort zone with your pain, being okay with it.
Oof,
That's
that
one
part.
thing. That's
The
one
pain is
conversation.
another big piece.
Okay. The other thing is instead of you practicing getting out of your comfort zone, building habits that get you out of your comfort zone, you're looking for something that you can add to your comfort zone so you don't have to get out of it. And that's why you're not getting where you want to go.
Yeah, chasing the easy
Right?
route.
So if you want to use a tool like a GLP-1 agonist, like a intermittent fasting, like a even 24-hour, 72-hour fast, keto, carnivore, whatever it may be, if you go into these things, this is why we say carnivore or keto is not a weight loss diet, because there's way more to the conversation, okay? If you get into these things, understanding that I'm using this as a line, it's a rope that I'm pulling into my comfort zone to help pull me out of it.
Ooh, I love
Right?
that.
Then you're going to see a completely different process, a completely different journey, because even using the tools, I'm trying to get somewhere that I've not been before. And I'm not going to just bring this in and let it sit here in my comfort zone where it's not going to work for me. I got to do things differently, but I'm using this to help me learn how to do that. That's the mindset that this takes.
At the end of the day, just like any other tool, it's how you think about it. It's how you use it. It's are you allowing this to make you better?
Yep.
Or are you relying on it as a crutch?
Yep. Yep.
I had another great comment here I wanted to share. Whitney's shared. The best thing I've learned from Coach Nat is that resetting the rudder on my body and mind take continual, imperfect forward effort. Life is a long time, and anything worth, she said this recently on a Zoom, and it was brilliant. Life is a long time, and anything worth truly having doesn't come fast and easy.
Nope.
Woo! You can say that about women, right?
I like that life is a long time because I talk about this in my book. I have a whole chapter in the book, which comes out in September. That is called the journey. Like life is the journey. You're on this journey. If you're on a weight loss journey, a health improvement journey, a whatever journey you want to call it, you are on it until the day you die. So
it's not 30 days, 60 days.
Any solution that you implement to help you improve your quality of life or reach your goals has to be something you can maintain or leverage or implement whenever you want or until the day you die. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah, it's that whole, when I did keto before it worked, so now I'm trying it again and now I can't do it. And why isn't it working this time? Yeah. Nothing's going to work for you. You have to do the work. You have to work for it.
Yeah.
I like to say that when people join my programs. This program is not going to work for you.
Exactly. You have to work the program. You have to live the lifestyle of the person that you want to be.
The identity piece.
If you want to be a person who is physically independent, healthy, not reliant on medications, not reliant on other people, and able to experience life to its fullest, whatever that means for you, then you have to do the things on a daily basis that that person does. Okay? We see celebrities and we think, oh my God, they have a great life, right? We don't know what's really going on behind the scenes, but we see them have high rates of drug addiction. We see them plastic surgery.
Oh
We
my
see all of
gosh.
these things. If that's the life that you want to live, then go for it, have a blast. But I would rather have a life where I'm doing things consistently to support my own freedom, and I'm not relying on artificial measures to have an appearance
That
of a
part.
lifestyle that doesn't actually exist.
It's one of those things. I'm grateful I didn't grow up with money. I'm grateful I didn't come into a large sum of money, because I may have chased after those
Easy.
quick fixes, right?
Yeah.
Just get liposuction, just get
Right.
cosmetic surgery to change whatever it is that you want to change on your body.
We've talked about having some services and maybe down the road having a business that was more catered toward the higher financial status folks. But then we were kind of like, well, but they have all these day spa salons where like that, the mindset for a lot of the people that we've run into in that category of social economic status has been, if I can pay for it, I'll just pay for it. I'm not going to do
Right.
that. I don't want to.
Rather than doing the work. Yeah.
Right. And so it's kind of like, well, that
So
might not
true.
be
It's
the
true.
clientele we want to find. So
Exactly.
yeah, we want to help people who will want to do something that's going to mean something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Easy come,
change
easy go.
who you are. Because here's the thing, when you do become that person, when you identify who you want to be and how you want to live, and you start living that way that that person lives,
So much fun.
it does become easy.
Yeah.
All these things that feel hard to you at the beginning become easy.
Yes.
And then the person you become is a person who doesn't avoid hard things. So now you're going, what can I accomplish next? What can I try next? How can I further optimize? And then you only, for the rest of your life,
You're just
improve.
getting better. Just getting better and better and better. Somebody said something about resetting satiety.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to talk about that real quick. So this is another aspect of the mindset behind a GLP-1 agonist, right? It helps you feel less hungry. We've talked about this. Guys, it's not a bad thing to feel hungry. If hunger is a trigger, that means there's something here that you need
to work
address.
on. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
There have been so many times where I've worked with clients and it's like, hey, we're going to set macros, we're going to set goals, we're going to do different things, whatever it may be. And maybe they had an early day where something happened, they look at their schedule and they ate all the food that they had planned on eating for the day by 2:00 in the afternoon. And then at 6:00, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's just like we say, avoiding your emotions. Sometimes avoiding hunger and trying to not feel that feeling. Hunger isn't a bad thing, right?
It's a part of being human.
It's a part of being human. Especially if you know you're being intentional about what you're doing, and if you ate everything that you planned for eating for the day, you know you got the nutrition you needed, you know you hit the goals for the intake of different macronutrients that you needed, you know in your head, I don't need to eat.
Yep.
But I don't feel like, I don't like this feeling of hunger, I need it to go away.
And particularly when you're
That's a trigger.
when you're in a fat loss phase, you're on a fat loss journey, you have excess body fat to lose, and that is your current goal that you are working towards, and you feel hungry, I like to always give this reframe. That's when I think, oh, fantastic.
Now
Now I'm burning fat. Now I'm going to lose fat. Because if I never feel that feeling of hunger, I'm not asking my body to make any adaptations. I'm not asking my body to take body fat and use it for fuel. I'm just living at maintenance. If you're not hungry ever, and if you're seeking and thinking that in a fat loss phase, in your weight loss journey, that you're looking for the thing that will make you never hungry while you achieve fat loss, it is impossible. That is literally the opposite of what we're talking about here. So if you're not in a fat loss phase and you get hungry and you're restricting for no reason, because we know a lot of women that are doing this, right?
Well, Well,
because they're
there's always a coin.
afraid.
There's always sides of the coin, right? There's some of you listening are always hungry because you think you need to always be hungry in order to see progress. That's a whole nother side. You need to be okay with feeling full,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
It's not the same for
It's
everybody.
what is the goal that I'm striving to achieve and what makes sense for where I am. If we just always live the way we always do in terms of like what we talk about all the time, homeostasis, the body wants to be in balance. When you change something, the body, and that includes the brain, the central nervous system, is sending signals to, hey, don't do this new thing. It's risky. It's different.
Yeah.
Stay where we're safe. So of course you're going to get cravings. You're going to get hungry. You're going to get these things when you are trying to make a change that's different.
Even if you're not under eating, you still might, right? If you're used
Yeah.
to eating one thing, when you stop eating that thing, your body's like used to eating that. It's gonna miss
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
I stopped eating butter,
That's right.
and there are times when I'm making my hard-boiled eggs, and I'm like, I really would like some butter, but hard-boiled eggs.
Of course
and
you
butter,
do. And that's part of it is like,
Right.
don't beat yourself up. Of course you're having this response. It's normal. It's natural. It doesn't mean every time you have a craving, you have to satisfy it. That's the other question we see all the time in keto discussion groups and carnivore groups. I'm having a craving. What can I do for this craving? And what are all the answers? Eat this, eat that, go for this, go for that. Make
Why
butter
do you
bites.
have to?
Why is the answer everybody's giving is eat more when you're having
When
a
your
craving?
4-year-old asks you for a piece of cake for breakfast, do you say, "Oh, I'll give you this," or "I'll give you something else," and like to satisfy their desire for the cake? No, you say, "No, you're going to have some eggs."
When you feed the craving will never go away.
Right,
You
I mean-
will continue to keep that craving alive.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what they're
Just
hearing all day.
feelings and cravings don't require action.
That's the whole long and short
Action
of it.
is a choice, not a response.
Your emotions cannot move your hands or your feet. You have a human, logical prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
You can step from the emotional limbic brain.
Abdullah Lomgat. What is it from Waterboy?
Ah,
Not Abdullah. That's a name.
medulla
Oblongata. That's it. Medulla oblongata.
That's so funny. So
Sorry, I
yeah.
totally
Anyway,
interrupted you.
you know
Sorry.
you can, but that's the whole key right there. Is if you're always on autopilot, doing whatever your emotional brain is telling you to do, none of this stuff is going to stick for life.
Right.
So while you're doing the work, whether it's the work of a challenge, the work with a coach, the work of choosing to use one of these drugs or weight loss surgery or whatever, alongside that, you absolutely must deal with the mental and emotional stuff at the same time. If not, you will always backtrack once you stop doing that thing you're doing.
Yep. Your computer has an operating system that is always going to work a certain way. You can put any app that you want on that computer, and it's going to work within the operating system that you have. You can't get your computer to operate at a different level and a different capacity without changing something about how the operating system works. Okay? If I want to expand my
Of course,
capabilities,
the IT guy would use
if I
this
want
analogy.
to expand my capabilities, I have to do something with that at the deepest level of how that computer functions in order to increase the capability of what my computer can do. So it's the same way with us. If we just keep the same operating system, if my operating system and the way I think of things is still Windows 10, then the things that I want to be able to do that only Windows 11 can do, I'm never going to be able to do. Because I haven't changed the processing of what's going on in here. I got to bring it to that next level.
It's just like getting ahead in anything in life, right? You want to get ahead financially, you want to get ahead in your career. If you are offered a promotion and you turn it down because you don't want that next level of responsibility, you're choosing to keep your finances where they are. Mm-hmm. And I know people who've done that, right?
Yeah.
Afraid of the next level of responsibility or authority, and they don't want it, they turn it down. Well, then you don't have any room to complain about bills.
Right.
When you had the opportunity to step into a more advanced position that would provide better financial stability, but you wanted to stay comfortable, so you said no. It's the same idea.
It's the same idea. Yeah. And we're not yelling at everybody. I know we're being a little, we're kind of being a little like
But this
cut and
is,
dry about some of this, but at the same, we
Yeah.
understand
It's
everybody's in a
difficult.
different
It's hard.
place. It's a hard thing.
Scary.
We've been there. We deal with people every day that are struggling with this.
But the
It's scary.
benefits,
There is risk involved.
the benefits that come when you decide to lean into that scary, hard, new thing
Right.
are 10, 100 times better than the benefits of the magic pill.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The risk that you're avoiding by doing the shortcuts is directly proportional to the rewards that you're missing
And it's crippling you, to be quite frank. It's
from doing the
crippling
hard
you.
work. The rewards that you get from trusting the process and letting it take time will always, always, always outweigh any of the risk that you think it's going to take by dealing with the things that you need to deal with to move forward. So
Yeah, and you know what? I always like to use the analogy of children because it's such a good, clear understanding of
she's talking about me.
if you never teach your child to tie their shoes, brush their teeth, any of the basic human functions that they need to learn to grow and be independent, they will be dependent on you for the rest of their lives or dependent on someone else.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so much easier to, if they're having a fit about going to bed, wouldn't it be much easier to just let your kids stay up all night? But there are reasons why you don't do that. You know, when you really care, it's like when you really care about your kids, you have to do the difficult things that help them grow into the humans you want them to be. If you care about yourself,
Say it. Say it.
you have to do the difficult things that help you grow into the human that you want to be.
Yeah. A lot of people today don't act like they care about themselves. And this could be a whole nother conversation. A lot of people today don't even know who they are to care about.
They don't know themselves.
They don't have an identity. Their identities are rolled up in their jobs, in their kids, in their family, and other people's expectations.
Oh, boy.
They don't
Deriving
know
value
who they
from
are.
external
So it's
circumstances,
hard.
yeah.
It's hard, and this is what we deal with a lot of our clients. This is the kind of stuff we have to, in a lot of ways, first help people figure out who they want to be without influence from any outside source.
Yep.
Who are they in here, and how do they want to express that? You have to figure that out. Once you figure that out, then you know who you're caring about. Then you're making decisions for that person. Right now, a lot of the decisions you are making are based on other stuff that has nothing to do with who you are as a person.
What you think will give you value.
Yeah.
Right? If you had a different body, if you looked different,
Yeah.
then you'd have value.
Yeah.
Find the value first. Why are you valuable? And then you can consider honoring that. That's really what started my whole journey, was
Yeah.
recognizing I have value as a person, as a human being, for no other reason. Just simply existing gives me inherent value. And if I care about myself, then I need to act differently. Self-care is not chilling, sitting on your ass, watching TV,
Self-care
relaxing
takes
all the
work.
time. Self-care, self-discipline is self-care.
Yeah. 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 Self-discipline is self-care. Yep.
It's the ultimate form of self-care.
Yeah. There's a whole nother, gosh. There's not a single time we do one of these videos, guys, where it's like there's 18 other directions that I'm thinking in my brain we could take this conversation. Because now I'm thinking about the whole avoiding emotion, and just there's a whole bunch of other, self-care can be painful, but that's okay. It's part of the process. There's a whole nother.
We could have a whole different discussion about that. It's been almost an hour, so
Yeah, I think
suppose
it's
we could wrap
probably
it up.
good. If there's any questions about our thoughts on Ozempic or GLP-1 agonists, I think there are some people out there who are trying to use them as tools in a bigger picture of overall health. From what I've heard from is it Tina, Dr. Tina, Dr. Tina?
Tina, yeah, with a Y.
Yeah, Tina with a Y. She did an interview on Mind Pump. I thought she had some good things to say. She approaches it from a different way than I think a lot of, if you look at the general marketing, it's like anything else. It's a magic pill. Just take this and your problems will be solved.
Yep.
Anybody that's telling you that, please stay away from them. Look for someone who's going to say, we understand how to use this as a rope to pull you out of your comfort zone, but there are other lifestyle factors that need to be put in place. There are other ways you need to think about the process. This isn't the only thing that needs to be implemented.
Yep.
Right? So if it's being used as a tool in a large toolbox of other things to help you move forward, then consider it, do all the research. We're not going to get into the science of the medication and all that kind of stuff, but understand that nothing you do that is short-term focused is going to last forever.
Love it.
And you have to do the work. So, anything to add to that?
No.
No? Okay.
Any questions, guys?
Any other questions or
comments?
thoughts? Thanks for the comments and everything today, guys. You guys have been on fire today with
Yeah.
everything.
I had a question about my water intake on
About your
yours.
water intake? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to get more than you haven't been good lately, so you're trying to
Well, normally I always
You've been a naughty girl.
I always make a jug, like a full pitcher with electrolytes the night before, and then I put it in the fridge, and then I drink out of that all day. So I know I'm getting at minimum 72 ounces a day of water with my electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually I would have an additional, maybe one of these afterwards, which is about 24 ounces. So it's getting me a little under 100 ounces of water a day.
Mm-hmm.
I had, just maybe last week when I switched to the high fat. I don't know why that reduced my water intake, but I just noticed that my water intake had come down. No, I wasn't more full.
No.
This was when I dropped my protein.
Oh, gotcha.
The week before, I was super full, but maybe because I had to add fat bombs and things like that I don't know. But so since I just started my prep last week, 1 week into this 18-week prep for stage, I'm dialing everything in and I'm tracking everything. So now I'm tracking my water specifically, and this last week it was somewhere between 80 and 100, or maybe a little over 100 ounces a day.
We should probably do a talk about this, about what we're tracking.
But everybody doesn't need the same amount of water a day, y'all. It's very individual. So what I'm drinking per day doesn't have any bearing on you.
Good call.
You need, and why I mentioned this, I started tracking it so I could look at where it was and how I'm feeling. I can make note of when I told him there's some days I wake up feeling dehydrated. I want to be able to look at my data and say, okay, what did I do yesterday? For instance, this morning I woke up with cotton mouth and a headache. I looked at my data yesterday.
You didn't tell me that.
I did tell you that.
You didn't.
I actually
Was I
did.
half asleep?
Probably.
I don't remember you telling me.
I said, I'm feeling dehydrated again today.
Oh, I totally missed that.
So I looked at my numbers, and yesterday I had 84 ounces instead of the rest of the week I'd been hitting around 92 to 102. So I was like, okay, yep. And my electrolytes were lower yesterday in proportion. So it's helpful to have the data and then to identify your symptoms and why are you, this person said she's seeking to increase her water intake, which is why she was asking.
Why? What's the
So
question?
why do you want to increase your water intake, right? Has it just been dangerously low, like you're barely drinking any water at all? I've had clients that only drink coffee all day long.
All day long.
Zero water. So, so there's no like perfect ideal numbers for the general, everybody needs to be here. But I generally like to say if I'm going to give a recommendation, like at least half your body weight in ounces per day is a good general
Starting
place
point.
to start. And then from there, look at optimizing
Yeah.
what makes you feel your best.
Okay.
And in proportion to electrolytes. And whether you're eating carbs or not eating carbs, everything comes into play with your hydration.
Right. We should. We
wanna do a
won't
hyd-
spend a lot of time talking about it, but I just want to add, because you were talking about tracking, and the last 2 weeks you've been tracking? 3 weeks?
I mean, I've been
you've been
tracking
tracking forever.
forever.
But you just created this new tracker
No, I've had that tracker.
Oh,
I've used it all year.
I thought that was a new one you did for this.
I've used it for years.
Oh, you've been using that same one?
Yeah, I just added some additional columns.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you
Yeah.
updated it or did something. Because you were doing the hormone testing and now.
Yeah, now I'm doing
we got the
hormone
readers.
testing.
Oh, we're gonna
and-
do. We should do a video on. We should do a video just on all the stuff we're testing and how we're doing everything.
Well, I was going to do that anyway, so we could do it together.
Okay, because we got some new blood test kits.
Blood meters
Blood
for
meters that do
ketones,
ketones,
glucose, and lactate.
Lactate that we'll be talking about. If we like that, you can expect us to become affiliates, and we'll be talking about how
We'll
you
get a
guys can
discount
get
code
one.
for you guys.
Because I'm looking forward to the lactate thing from some.
Yeah,
stuff
he's
that I
been
wanna
wanting to do the lactate. I've been wanting to do the ketones, so it was like, oh, how perfect. We can do
So
all
having
three.
it all in 1 meter is super cool.
And then I finally discovered a perimenopause hormone test kit that you can do 15 days out of 30 or all 30 days of the month. I just started using it this week. Same thing. I'm going
Right.
to test it out, let you know what I think. If I love it, I'll get a discount code for y'all. So I'll be sharing about that too. But what's really cool is that I'm able to track multiple hormones, urine metabolites every day. And so I've been tracking that, glucose, ketones. I added even more columns for more detail on my cardio, on my training, water intake, everything.
The one thing I want to just, when it comes to tracking, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's so much work. I'm blah. If you guys saw the stuff that we were doing with tracking, you would freak out.
It would
Especially
seem
hers.
like a lot.
It would seem
Yeah.
like a lot. But here's the thing. We're both at a point where we're so curious about what's going on. We were making dinner last night. I spent, what did we do? We went and did something. We
went to the gym.
Came back.
You were like, I'm
Worked
going to
on
go
some
into my
stuff for
hole
trip.
for a little bit because I need to work on this
And I had
spreadsheet.
this idea of what something I wanted to do for the spreadsheet that I'm working on for my tracking. I put a spreadsheet together. I got graphs. I'm doing all this kind of stuff, geeking out. And I'm come up to make dinner, and I just look over at her. I'm like, we're at the point in my life where a fun time for me is spreadsheets. Like, I go in my office, I go work on a spreadsheet, and I'm having a blast trying to figure out how I can pull this data together, what I can make it look like, how I can make graphs that show me the different things I'm looking for. It's
Yeah.
If you have that curiosity about what's happening because you're taking ownership, I'm in control. I have the power, which means I get to play and do whatever I want with my body.
Okay, that is my
Right.
like platform always, is this whole don't be afraid of the numbers. And the way that you get over your fear of the scale and things like that is when you track more data than just your weight and you track it more frequently.
Yep.
So you see a bigger picture of everything that's going on and you see it more day to day, week to week, month to month. You can see all of it. You can see a bigger picture and it lessens the load, this weight that the scale has over you.
Yeah.
It now just becomes one tiny little piece of data along with everything else. And also when you progress in your journey, we are optimizing. We are at the stage now where how can I further optimize? Because we've already gotten to healthy. We've already gotten to extremely fit. Now we want to say, okay, how can I take this to the next level?
Extremely fit. We're extremely fit.
That's what I would say.
Okay, I'll take it.
I know it depends on the day, whether we
I
feel it
don't
or
feel
not.
like I'm extremely fit sometimes, but yeah.
So then it's all about, okay, now what's next? And what else can we look at? And, where can I further optimize? So
Awesome. So that's our little
Aside.
rant at the end of the video. Thank you very much, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you next week.
thanks for joining
And
us.
your comments help us come up with
Topics.
Your engagement in our communities. You have a Facebook group. I've got a Discord. Those types of conversations and things that happen with people we interact with help us come up with these ideas of things to talk about. So please
keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Comment on the videos. Send us messages. Ask us questions. Whatever. So we can keep these things going. Appreciate it. See you.
Bye.